For the month of May, let us see how Africa has performed in terms of securing a sustainable natural environment for her people. The IPES, or Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, warns that 1 million species are in danger of extinction, and urge the world to treat the threat to biodiversity with the same urgency as they treat climate change, especially as these resources are central to the accomplishment of the Sustainable Development Goals before 2032. A proven method to prevent resource deterioration is to give people living from the ecosystems charge of their land. In this regard, Botswana is determined to allow communities to benefit from its wildlife resources. For far too long has tourism thrived at the expense of the inhabitants of the land. Kenya and Tanzania also considers local community involvement to find solutions for their wildebeest migration routes, which are threatened by fences, farms, settlements and roads. The Seychelles is investing in aquaculture, capitalizing on their rich diversity of fish species. East African countries bordering Lake Victoria and the Indian Ocean are encouraged to develop their blue economies to overcome Africa's protein deficiency. Malawi's availability of safe drinking water has decreased remarkably because of deforestation, but plans are in place to reforest the land. In order to survive the impacts of global warming, farmers in Zimbabwe are changing their approach to agriculture from grain production to permaculture. Ladies in Burkina Faso are turning plastic into fashion, creating jobs, while saving the environment. The United Nations has reminded us on the 11th of May, World Migratory Bird Day, of the impacts of plastic pollution on the biological environment, causing harm and death to millions of creatures associated with the ocean. The children of Ghana is taught to understand the value of ecosystem services and the impact of global warming, so they do not repeat the same mistakes their parents have made. Nigerian authorities have realized the important role of vultures to protect the environment from disease, and have embarked on a sensitizing campaign to educate the population. Gambia is rolling out a novel emergency alert system. It would help ordinary citizens to be sufficiently prepared in the face of both natural and man-made disasters. The 2018 version of the United Nations IPCC report warns that we only have 12 years to limit runaway climate change, with court action being the only viable method to compel reluctant agencies to comply. We may run out of time. South Africa finally published its long-awaited draft National Climate Change Adaptation Strategy for public comment. Now is the time for members of the public to unite in their vision, and to leave a sustainable legacy behind for their children. Africa is determined to fight against the looting of their natural resources. She does not have to rely on fossil fuels to satisfy her energy needs. Instead, she can lead the world into a just energy transition, powered by low-cost renewable energy sources. South Africa has identified the possibility to deposit 60% of their carbon emissions in underground geological formations. This intended move towards a low-carbon economy needs to be followed with urgent action. It is time to educate the South African public to follow the example of other water-scarce countries, like Namibia and Jordan and Australia, to use recycled water for drinking. Tanzania has already done much to put a stop to the exploitation of its natural air, soil and water resources. Now, yet another bold step will take effect on the 5th of June this year. A complete ban on plastic bags. Experts compare perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA, to a ticking time bomb in our bodies. Nigeria has declared war on this chemical that accumulates, causing various adverse health effects. Sadly, many countries like the European Union, China and Iran have obtained additional wide-ranging exemptions. Due to huge-scale species extinction, the UN Environment is warning that food security is at risk. Our health and the health of our food are largely determined by factors associated with healthy ecosystems, the interdependent web of animal, plant, fungal and bacterial life. A new study proves penguins are key indicators of ocean health, but what they are showing is not good. And in South Africa, concerned scientists attempt to change legislation, allowing over-the-counter rat poison that accumulate in peri-urban wildlife. For example, owl, grackle, otter, badger and mongoose, in and around Cape Town. To get the full stories behind these events, visit our website, econatics.co.za.